What's up, guys? Killer back with another Improvs and Pulse video, and today we're finally gonna get that four-star green list. Oh man, this was tougher than I thought. I forgot how many heroes green had. I counted 13. If you guys count something different, please let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel, and let's get into this list. Man, I didn't realize how many old heroes green had. I didn't realize how many new heroes green had. And by the way, green is the first four stars to have I think all their skins done. I think the rest of them still need skins for the rest of the colors, but green is done. I've got all of them, and they're all done. And boy, what a pain. Um, Nonetheless, let's get into this list. This was a weird list because I forgot I forgot Little John, I forgot Skittles Skull, I forgot the season three guys for a while. I was like going back. I was like, man, who is all on this list? Da, 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 da. Because I couldn't count to 10 in the car. And then I was like, man, let me go home and look at it. And I was looking. I was like, okay. And I made a couple adjustments. I think that it gets kind of gray around 7 to 4, but and maybe 7 to 3. But it's really subjective and probably play style. Um, Again, how I make these list guys is usable, speed, based off tournament and events, and day-to-day play. And most of the time with the four stars, the day-to-day play would be for Titans, and then who you could build a team around if you pull them first, coming in new. I guess that would probably be the last one. So it would be usable, speed, I guess day-to-day play, and who you can build a team around. So maybe it's 4, 5 qualifications. Um, yeah, let's get into it. At number 13, which is who I got, I counted 13. I had to go with Gobbler, man. I just feel like Gobbler sucks. Oh, none of these sucks. He's just not. You don't build a team around Gobbler. He does get some play. You see him a lot more now in the wings and flank positions in the four-star tournaments where there's no reds. Gobbler will eat your minions for those who run buddy teams. So Gobbler's a great offensive hero. He's not really good defensive wise. Um, and he adds healing based off his when he gobbles minions. So I mean that's cool. Like he's an extra healer on your team in this minion meta. So like maybe if you wing him and put some emblems on him, I don't know why you would do that. He might be okay, and then pair him with maybe like Tarlac on a green team. He might work out there, but he's just really lackluster. Him and Agui from the Laguna family, they just you don't play him, you don't see him, you don't use him. So therefore, I got him there. I have used Gobbler a couple of times in very fast attacks, and there's like no reds. Like he comes in handy because he hits all. But other than that, it's some other hit alls that are a little bit better. That's got a little better stats that are stronger, and I would use ahead of time. Now Gobbler comes with some crazy health. His health is really really strong, and him being a druid, you could go the I probably, if you had to do emblems, if Gobbler was who your go-to guy is, I would go a defense health route with a buff on the healing percentage for the extra health when he gobbles a minion just to make him more tanky. But other than that, man, I just don't see it. I don't. Yeah, on to the next. At number 12, I got Skittle Skull. Skittle Skull would have been last, but I feel like his debuff is stronger than Gobbler's, and not to mention his class. And the offensive down comes in handy more, and it hits all. And I think his hits a tad bit stronger, not much stronger. 185 versus I think Gobbler's is like 180. No, Gobbler's is 170, so he hits a little bit harder than Gobbler. Not that big of a deal. A little bit better offensive stats. You see, you got the attack up a little bit better. He does have a skin. I don't think it's worth mentioning because I wouldn't run a skin version. I think you gain. Let me make sure. I'll double check for you guys. His skin, you gain more defense, you gain more offensive down and less attack. I wouldn't use him like that. That's not going to make a difference. And then he goes from a source to a cleric. Um, and he gains more attack, but he loses attack on the special, and I wanted the special to go ahead and hit hard. So Skittle Skull, another lackluster. You don't see him except for maybe very fast tournaments. Again, people wing him. Some people use him as flank, but he dies fairly quickly. Gobbler actually probably outlives Skittle Skull if you had to go for it, and he'll go off faster. It's just Skittle Skull's debuff is better and his hit is stronger. On to the next. I've got Little John. Now, Little John's one of those that you put him in the 5 wing position, so that is the right wing, and then when he goes off, it's Oh, I forgot about Little John. I got a picture of his skin version because I think it looks better than his regular version. Um, but he didn't do much either. He gives you the chance to dodge now, so I could see you placing him more as a flank versus when you run his mana down version, which is his regular skin version. He would be more of a wing, another 5 spot wing where you put Skittle Skull. Skittle Skull kind of can go 1 or 5. Gobbler is definitely a 5, and Little John's a 5. So you guys, we're talking about slow wings. So it's build up anticipation that people forget about them, and then they come back and knock your head off. Um, and that's not a bad strategy. It's a strong strategy. It works. He does give mana to the he gives mana to the team if he dodges in his skin. Let me see special. Da, 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 gives a moderate amount of mana. We never know what a moderate amount is. Yeah. On the reverse side, he does do a 64% mana reduction for 3 turns in his skin. His mana up is 4 turns. His mana reduction is 3 turns. Um, Again, it's one of those things subjective. He's a non-comeback guy. I think he makes a little bit better wing than Gobbler in Skill Skull. As far as the 5 position, on the 1 position, I could see you running him there. Now that he's got a little bit more beefier stats, he only gained he gained a little bit more. He gained a little more defense in his skin. In his he loses defense in his regular, but he gains it back his attack. I probably would want his attack. So that's Little John. Nothing new there. I'm not even going to these guys' classes because it's so many to get to. We got to keep moving. At number 10, so that was the first three, 1 through, or excuse me, 13 through 11. Here's number 10. At number 10, I got Gators. Now, you might say, oh, he's slow too, da 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 da. I feel like Gators is more usable than the other 3 heroes we just talked about. One, he comes from the Atlantis family, which adds defense, which goes along with him considering he's a druid. So now he's going to get defensive up with Triton. Triton's going to increase his healing, and now he's a better tank. He's a pure tank. Gators is the man. He's a tank. Gators attacks 3 people for 165 at slow. He also casts a heal over time, I want to say. Let me make sure. Make sure I got his card right. There we go. He casts a heal over time for 612 for 4 turns, and then he increases the offense up of the cash of nearby items by 48. So he's a he's a charge up kill tank. I feel like he's a perfect machine for Atlantis. I love his card. His animation's really great. He's really kind of hard to beat in hard modes when we first got to him because we didn't know what he was doing. I feel like his class and his family bonus complement him. This is a better slow hero out of the greens. I feel like this is the 4-star green tank. Some people argue with me on it. Probably for this next guy I'm about to introduce. But I like Gators a lot. Just unfortunately, he is slower and his stats aren't the best for tanking. But he's a better investment. He pairs really well with Tibertus and even I can't think of his name now. Pairs even with let me see if I can get it. Let me see if I can get it with Proteus. Yeah, Proteus. So then you got three defense up for the Atlantis family, and with 3 it goes to 10%. So he gets a 10% gain, which is another 69% increase on his defense. Definitely like Gators. I run him at tank sometime. Let's see here. Let's go to number 9. I got Jack O'Hare here. This is not who I was talking about, but Jack O'Hare, I feel like gets the bad end of the stick, but I feel like he really goes well on offense with some other heroes that are up and coming. Ever since 4-star got defense down and shield down to 3, Jack O'Hare has really shined. Not to mention his family bonus, which is increased attack. So you can put Lady Williford with him and get a little bit more attack out of him. Not a lot, but a little bit more, and that attack is something. So you're talking about a nice 180 to everybody plus additional 10%. So you're getting another 18% on that attack possibly. Um, that's pretty good. And if you happen to run him with another hero, he gets up to 20% attack, and then his hit all might be really powerful. Um, I like Jack O'Hara at this position. He's not great out of the fast. I feel like he's the weakest fast we have in the greens because of that defensive down. He's an archer. There's too many archers in the game as it is. Um, and his effect can't be dispelled, so that's a debuff to him. But he's very offensive. If you can keep him alive, he will come back and kill you. He's probably a better five wing than the other three we talked about, because of the fact he's going to hit faster and keep going. You probably get him off twice before he gets killed on defense. If not, he'll just keep going until he kills you. Let's go next. At number 8, I've got Keshex. I call him Keshex. Cashrex, whatever. I think it's Cashrex. Anyway, um, Cashrex. I think this guy got a great improvement to him, because he's the first season one hero that adds the maximum HP. Boost health of the caster nearby allies by 450. So it's a base heal of 450, which is not bad for 4 stars, for the simple fact that's about a third of most 4 stars, if not half of most 4 stars health. If exceeds max HP, it adds additional temporary HP. Adds an additional temporary HP. Max temporary HP, 100% of the maximum HP. So there you go. I think it goes up to 450 with him. He's now a sorcerer, which makes sense because now he's the shaman of the lizards, the lizard hunter, lizard king. So he's the man. He still has his red shield, I believe. Yeah, he still gets 64% defense against red shield, so he's protecting himself. Before he was just healing with the red shield, and now he is. You went from a 45%, and you did lose a little bit of shield on that red, but you get that health bonus. So you get a health shield and you get a red shield. So if you attack him with red and he's already got that health shield up, now he has a double resistance. So it's still more than 50% against red, so your damage is reduced by more than 50%. I like him in his original form, but this new form is a little bit better. It's faster, so now he's a little bit faster than the average. I think he makes for a great tank too. Personally, I would use Gators over him, but he's more available, so I'm going to put him higher. And he's also faster than Gators, so I'm also going to put him higher for that. Not going to be preference on that. I think Keshex is here to stay. He used to be one of the best 4 star tanks in the game back in season one for sure, and also possibly in season two until you got Gators, and then maybe you're like, I could probably substitute out. 14k health though, that's nothing to sleep on. I believe Keshex has the highest health in the game for a 4 star. I could be wrong. It could be Jabbar, but I don't think so. I think Keshex has the highest. Let me go check Jabbar real quick just to make sure it's not the pig. The pig's 13, 18, and just to make sure, nope, it's Keshex. Keshex with 1453 in his normal skin and 1409 in the new skin. So that's number 8. At number 7, guys, I've got Malindor. Now, Malindor is down here at number 7. I still think Malindor is very relevant. Plus, they added heal over time with increased defense for 3 turns. Um, or excuse me, yeah, he gets what is it? What is it? Regenerates health. All allies get 46 defense for 3 turns, and he dispels buff from all allies. The dispel is very clutch. The problem with Melindor is that he gets so outshined by Rigard. That's what it is. I think he just gets so outshined by Rigard. I don't mind them both on the same team. He's just not Rigard, man. Rigard's just better just because I think Rigard has more health. He's more usable. He's more survivable. But I got him down here because he is one of the better healers that we have right now for 4 star. He's still up there. I think he probably got outshined by a couple of other 4 stars that we've gone over. I think he's kind of like mid-tier healing. Um, excuse me, mid tier for the healers because there's so many healers now. Before he was one of the only healers we had in 4 stars with what Rigard, Boltus, Melindor, and Carol, and there was no yellow healer. So he was one of the 4 there, and then they added so many to it, and then you have Kestrix that has 3, and by healer I mean I guess heal all. So He's just right there. I like the defensive up. Again, one of those stats I think that's very underrated is defense up. If you're missing that, this is a cheaper way to get it coming into the game with the skin. He's more you're probably going to catch the skin. So Melindor right there in the mid tier of the green 4 stars. He's not the worst. He's not the best, but it's some other greens that just do more in the current meta of tournaments and events that you would use before you use him. I think everybody we've gone over you would use, but you're not using them more than you're using the next couple of heroes that we go over. And that's probably where not the preference as much as so how green is just always, like I said, got the most stuff in it. It's just the best color. It's the best element in the game because it has everything. It has everything now. It has everything. There's nothing green does not have. Um, Nothing, I don't think. I mean, they do have a dot, and that's where people say, well, they don't have a dot. Kinda. So, it's only 2 characters, I think, for right now. It might be a little bit more, but I will go over that another time. Number 6, I got Peters. So I wanted to rank this guy a lot higher. I had Peter personally at 4. Then I thought about it. I was like, okay, let's take preference out of it and take usability out of it. I feel like Peter doesn't go as well without Hansel. I think if you're running a team for tournaments right now, because and even maybe events, I don't know why you'd bring Peter to an event. There's some other people I bring before, but Peter has the best buff from the Pirates, so he does get the mana, and I think he gets the crit from the Pirates, so that's a plus for him. I'm not taking that away from him. He has the best buff in the game. He is a rogue. Rogue's a pretty good class for him because he's a half sniper, aka a trick sniper, whatever. The 320 attack is really strong for his hit. His hit's stronger than Hansel. Problem with Peter is that Peter does the silence versus Hansel does the mindless. Um, and it's attacking mana from Pirate. Sorry, so his his buff is great, but you're gonna pair him with Boomer, and these purple and greens they go really good together in the 5 star. But I've never paired him with Boomer. I've never paired him with Boomer for him to get the 3% attack and 2% mana increase. I don't at that point I almost don't think it's worth it. Um, Peter's not. He's good. Don't get me wrong, he's good. I like him, and that silence comes in handy. But I feel like he has to have Hansel to really shine, and he has to have some of these other heroes to really be as effective as Hansel is or as effective as his damage can be. At number 5, I had to go with Ulmer. I think Ulmer is at number 5. Um, and the reason he's lackluster is just because he just doesn't do enough. Like his damage is 120. He's fast, so cool. It's gonna keep going off. But his big deal is that shield down. Like you're keeping Omer to get the shield down. He's tanky, so he's gonna live long enough. He's from the realm of poison. I think it goes really well with his sister for extra poison damage if that's what you want to do. He's fast. I love that. He's a sorcerer, so he can if you invest him, he can control mana for 2 turns if he goes off or not. The 75 max HP reduction, that's pretty cool. If he goes off twice, there's 150 on 4 stars. That's pretty decent. It's about a 10% across the board reduction at two specials, and with him being fast, more likely that's going to happen. His biggest downfall is he hits 3, and he hits 3 softly. Um, that's the only problem I have with him. The reduction of health is kind of added to his damage, so it's like 120% damage, and then you get another 75% health reduction off that, which is kind of cool. But if you play him a lot, which I play his sister all the time, the purple chick that does poison or whatever, it's not that much. You almost want 2 of them. You almost want to run 2, but then there's no damage. In other words, what I mean, 120, 240 from 2, and then 150 would be cool, but it's not really killing range. It does help the kill range, like him and Peter pair really good together. So now Peter's hitting harder after he goes off. You're definitely running this guy as like the one. Like I personally run him as the 1 and a 2 spot on the left side of the board for your team on offense. Defense, I guess it's not too bad. If I would run him on defense with his sister, just so they're reducing your health, slowly ticking you away, and slowly getting you down. Um, he's good. I'm not going to take anything away from him. It's just he's just a little light on the offense, but he does help the team much better than the rest of the heroes I think we've gone over. Next at number 4, I had to do it. Buddy. Oh, this pains me because I love Buddy. Buddy's one of my favorite characters. He does everything: hits, minions, defense down, offense, and he's about to get a Christmas buff, so he's going to get even better. I happen to run 2 buddies, but he won't benefit from the Christmas buff from 2 of them. So hopefully his 4-star pairing is good, like he is. Clearly, he's going to add a minion, so probably going to be using him. Um, Buddy is he's just I think he's better than Ulmer. His damage is better. He just does more. Buffs a team with health from a minion. 10% minion, 10% attack for 4-star. That's pretty decent. Not mad at it. Um, Defensive down, offensive down. We didn't have defensive down in 5-star for the longest, so Buddy was being taken possibly to Titans and different stuff like that for the defensive down. Offensive down always helps. He's just really well rounded. Health and defense make him pretty decent for a tank. The worst thing about Buddy is he's an archer. I don't know why they made him an archer. There's nothing about throwing presents at people that reduce the defense and reduce the offense down that needs to be archer to where it penetrates you. Like, I don't need Buddy to penetrate. I didn't even stay alive. Like, any other class would have been better for him than this. Um, I wouldn't have cared. Any other class but Archer. I think Archer is the worst thing that they did to him. Other than that, Buddy's solid, man. I hate that he's not in the top 3. And you guys are probably arguing that he should be in the top 3 with my next 3 choices, but it is what it is. I think these guys have more potential with killing and also more potential on event teams and possibly in tournament teams. Um, Not that Buddy doesn't have that potential, but and I use him all the time. Number 3, I had to go with Camden. He's faster than fast, and he's the hardest hitting green for 4-star, and he dispels all allies or he dispels all enemies. Depends on how you run his skin. I liked his animation on his skin. I happen to recently just start using Camden. I think he I think he makes a great addition. So dispels all enemies or he dispels all allies. If you guys run him in his normal form because you want him to dispel all allies. He's one of those heroes that does the same thing Sonya does, and I can't take that away. They made him a fighter. That's another reason I got him up higher because he can just come back to life. I think his class is better than a lot of the other ones that we went over for what he does because he's a sniper. Camden definitely is a 5 or a 1. You can put them either way. Um, you can run them both, Sonya and Camden at 1 and 5, and that's lethal sometimes because you can't get no buff up and can't do anything. Also, you could run them opposite pairing to one does dispel to the team, one does dispel to the enemy or dispel to the enemy team. So cleanse and a dispel, and they go really well together. You can flop them out however you want to go, and they're both faster than fast, and they hit hard. So I got them here. Um, I personally would run Camden for the Dispel allies and run Sonya for the Dispel team because Sonya is a paladin and Camden turns into a fighter. So therefore, if you emblem them, Camden's going to come back alive and dispel your team, which is perfect. And Sonya's going to dispel your. Sorry, Camden's going to come back and dispel your team, and Sonya's going to dispel the enemy, but she also has defensive up. So it just kind of makes sense to run that way. Not gonna go over him too hard. This is the one you could argue Buddy possibly could go over him. I just think because he's so much faster now, and I just think he's gonna be better overall for you. And he's more accessible. That's another thing. He's also much more accessible in the game than Buddy is. Buddy is once a year. So at number 2, I gotta go with Hansel. Hansel's the OG. He's a cleric. That's the weakest thing probably about him, but it's not bad because he doesn't get any mana reduction if it goes off. He is a Fables. Um, he is a Fables guy, so he gets the defense and what is it? Defense and attack. So his attack goes up if you pair him. He does spell well with his sister, which is Gretel. Gretel does the same thing, but to 1 in the center and hits 3. So Hansel and Gretel get an attack and defensive up, running them together. They're lemon lime. Lemon lime doesn't go bad together. You could definitely run Hansel as a wing and Gretel as a flank. I don't think I'd tank Gretel. I don't think she's strong enough. But Hansel, on the other hand, makes a great wing because he's an independent contractor, and so does Gretel. But Hansel's just that much better. Hansel has 255 for attack, so not as strong as attack. No big deal there. but it automatically does 146 damage to the target when the target's mana is full. Reduces the mana by 50%. He has a mindless on him, so he casts a mindless. So basically, what happens is he adds a little buff that will once you get and it stays with him. That's the thing I like about Hansel's mindless versus like silence or something like that. No, excuse me, I'm saying this wrong. I'm trying to think who I'm talking about. Nope. It's not mindless with Hansel, excuse me. Mindless stays with you, and then as you get your mana up, it'll go off. Hansel's is just once he gets that debuff from Hansel, I can't think what it's called. I guess you would call it the witching. When you get the witching buff on it, it's a little different than mindless. It will basically hit them and then reduce their mana back down to 50% for 3 turns, versus mindless takes the mana completely away. So Hansel's goes off faster, and it will reduce the mana from full to 50%. The thing I like about that is that with Hansel's debuff, you can make it go off multiple times if you got it in sequence. I've had Hansel's buff stay on the caster for the 3 turns, make it go off the first turn, the second turn, third turn, and kill them on the third turn, just for the simple fact that the buff kept the mana at mid, and it was a fast hero, and I could throw a couple of tile or a cascade into them, and all of a sudden they killed themselves. That's the difference between mindless. Mindless, once it goes off, it drains the mana all the way out. So clarification there. Um, it's a little bit more interesting with Hansel. You can kind of make the hero do what you want him to do to kill himself. Like it almost gives you a ghost tile target, if that makes sense. So in other words, once Hansel's debuff is on the enemy, once they got the half mana, you give them the full, they hurt them themselves. Go back down to full. You don't have a really good match anywhere else, or somebody's about to go off. You just throw tile into that target. Target goes off again, starts killing himself. By the time they do get to go off, they might be dead or so reduced that when you got the match, you just tear them up. And so running greens, if I have a green match into a Hansel debuff enemy target, throw those greens into them, buff the rest of my team with mana, or increase the mana of the rest of my team, destroy this one as the mana increases, kills himself, and then my heroes are ready to go again to use their specials again on him. It's great. He has a lot of control on the board. Another thing I like about Hansel is Hansel has he reduces by 50%. The caster gets 74% defense against special skills for 3 turns. Independent contractor, guys. He will not get beat up that bad, and he doesn't reduce mana from being a cleric. So that's what I got about Hansel. I've liked this guy for a long time. I've had him for a long time. I think he's probably one of the better event heroes from 4 star that we have, because he's fast and just built all the way around. Um, that 74% defense against specials looks like that is the stat. So I don't think Zulag, a Nittany Lion Roar, Zulag. There's nothing that says Zulug. What did he call her? Anyway, it's lag. LAG is lag, man. Anyway, so he but he that 74% is great, because I think it's not going to go anywhere. So I like that about that, because I've seen it. I'm starting to see it more and more that I've been watching heroes and stuff like that. But let's get back to the list. At number 1, I don't know if you guys guessed it, uh, Broomhilda. As much as I botch names, I shouldn't have fussed at Nittany, but I'm botching. You botched that one, dude. I'm gonna blast you. Broomhilda. I got her at number 1 for the simple fact that she does so much fast, similar to what we're complaining about with Telluria. But this chick is here to stay. I think she's the perfect flank. I think she's the perfect flank for 4 star tournaments. Um, Especially if they don't have a red going. I think this chick would be a great flank. If not, run a green and a green flank with her, or a green tank and a green flank. You could possibly tank her, no big deal there. Caster gets 37% increased healing to caster and nearby allies. You got the caster and nearby allies are immune to dispel. So in other words, once you buff them up, they're not going to get debuffed for 3 turns. Another 74% increase to defense or to specials. So the defense for specials is increased by 74%. So makes your middle or your wing flank and tank, or tank flank and flank really hard to kill by specials. That's awesome, and she's fast. And then the caster and nearby allies get mana regeneration for 24 for 3 turns. And she's a rogue, and if she gets low health, her attack goes up. Um, her attack doesn't go up that much by 5%, but for the simple fact that the attack goes up. That's great. Um, yeah, I like this chick. I think she's awesome. Shield Maiden. I think that's what they call Broomhilda. Let me see. Yeah, the Shield Maiden of Valkyrie. So she's clearly there to block and defend. So put her on your team for blocking and defending. Guys, that's all I got for this one. The new update came out today because the day is 10/5/20. So eh, read that. It's interesting stuff. Go see TC's video about it. We talked about it earlier. Um, he had some great points in that. In case you guys don't know, meta switch change in 4 months, possibly 6, but it's coming. It's over. Green's out. But I'll probably get on that one day when I'm live. I'm not going to talk about that now. Hope you guys enjoyed the list. Again, like and subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to come hang out with me at the Alliance, only place for old accounts, we are chilling and relaxing, trying to slowly creep up the numbers of Alliance members we have. We're not going nowhere anytime soon. If you guys are trying to get in touch with me, my Discord is right there at Killa2411, number 1952. That's all I got. I'm out. Killa out. Peace.